Hello there, my name's Vince from My Mate Vince, and welcome to the 2025 Advent Return Challenge. We are now on day 16. Will day 16 be successful, or will it be a massive failure? Let's get fixing.
Big shredder.
Here we have a bonsai paper shredder. Cross-cut one, so not just that way as well, which is good. And it will do 12 sheets, so it's quite a big one. Now, it's definitely been used. I can see a lot of dust on it, and I think it's a gear problem. I can hear the motor working, but it sounds more like a motor spinning rather than a load of gears. And also, it doesn't seem to even detect the paper going in on auto, so I think there might be two problems with this. So check this out. Reverse. Sounds like that, which sounds more like just a motor, doesn't it? Forward is like that, and if I go to auto, it should drag the paper in. It should make the noise when I put this in, but look, there's nothing happening there. So it looks like that switch isn't working either. I don't think this is going to be fixable because I think the gears have gone, but let's take it apart and see if we can have any hope of fixing it. Look at this, it's like a little boom box. There's a little safety switch just here, and on the base there's a little bit of plastic that does this, so we know that's working. It does rattle. Something's definitely rattling. So let's take it apart. I'll use my special screwdriver as always. Ta-da! Flathead with a bit shaved off each side, and it works again. Actually, you know what? We should probably verify that these are not turning here. So let me put it on before I take it apart completely. I'm just going to put it on forward, and I'm going to plug this in here, and hopefully when I do this it should go off. There we go. You see nothing spins there, but I can see that it looks like bits of dust are flying up from here. So you can already hear that the motor's spinning anyway. That confirms it. The motor will have a little fan at the end to keep it cool. Right, it should be 6 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one stayed in here somewhere. There we go. Right, let's see what's happening and what's causing the rattle. We're off. Oh my word. Right, well that's definitely why it's not recognising paper going in. Also, somebody thought it was a good idea to... Oh no, they put cardboard in here, so the gears are just going to be strips. Look at that. 7 pieces of paper does not equal that thickness there. That's super thick. My mate Vince hasn't even got the strength to rip that. Oh, right, okay. Well, what's that off? Oh, this is completely butchered here. Oh no. Right, okay. Well, we might be able to do something with that. Let's worry about that later, because no point in worrying about this if we can't get the gears going. You can see that this has a lot of dust in it. So we got that, we got that, we got that. That doesn't actually look... I don't think that's broken, you know. Might be alright. Might be able to get that back together. Let's unplug that. Now, does anything go on there? So we know this is spinning, so it's going to be a problem in here. Right, I probably should vacuum clean it, but I'm just going to have a quick look in here first. So we know that that's going to be spinning. Okay. Is that going to balance? Ish. Oh, and is that broken there? Yeah, that's broken there, but that could possibly be glued. I think there's a bit broken from the front as well. Right, anyway. The interesting part will be in here. What's happened? Let's undo this. So if it's anything like the last one, we're going to have a metal gear coming out of the motor, and then the next one will be a nylon gear with a metal insert, and then the other gears will be metal. I bet you the nylon gear's been chewed up. And I think it might be nylon for a fail-safe in the event of somebody trying to put cardboard through and it getting completely blocked up forward and reverse. Right, here we go, fingers crossed. Is it going to be fixable? I'm going to say no. Yeah, there you go. Oh my word, I was actually right. I must be getting better at this. Okay, look at this. So, we have metal gear here. Do you know what this might allow? I wonder underneath here, would it have the metal gear that was chewed up on the other one? You know what I mean? I wonder, does it share the same components? Maybe. Anyway, you can see metal. There's going to be 2 metal gears under here. If I was to turn this, which I can't, yeah, for each of these rollers here, this one and this one, yeah. Metal gear here coming out of the motor, which we know is spinning, and look at this, it's completely chewed up. Completely chewed up. So I think it's actually designed like that on purpose. So I'm spinning this now. So there's nothing I can do there. It would need a new gear. Now in the job lot there may well be another one, and if there is, maybe if it's got kind of chewed up metal gears or something, I might be able to use this as a spare. In fact, what's this here? What's this? What is that there? Ah, hold on now. Maybe this has failed because some metal gear broke. What is that there? Ah, so what's happened is, look, one of the metal gears underneath here to do with the rollers here has completely shattered, and then it got jammed in here, this hole, so this couldn't go anywhere because it was jammed in the jammed in the hole here. Yeah, where's it going? Probably around to here. Got jammed in, and so it completely locked up and the motor kept on spinning. So it's the gears under here that have actually broken. Let me just see which one, if it comes off easy. If not, I'm not going to waste much time on this. There's cardboard jammed absolutely everywhere. There we go. Right, where is the other gear? Oh, what am I on about? It's under here. Sorry, it's under here. So there's a gear here, because that lines up with this axle. Yeah? And then the other gear's here. So the very fact this is not turning, we now know, we don't need to take it off. We know that that gear is from this side here. Actually, when editing it back, no, we don't know that, do we? Because under this big wheel, there's a small gear attached to the same axle. It's possible that the gear broke from that. But it's also possible it could be the other axle gear that broke as well. So this is going to turn the series of cutters on this axle regardless, because it's attached to the big wheel. But if the little gear under the big wheel was broken, it can't transfer it to the next axle full of cutters. So yeah, this is scrap. I don't know, is it user error with the cardboard that put too much strain on, but it's kind of weird that the metal gears broke. You would think it would be the nylon gear that would go first. I'm not too sure. Let's have a look to see if there's spares available. Right, it's still a current item, £50 from Amazon. Bonsai 12 sheet cross-cut paper. This one is a C275. I'm going to type that in, spares, see what comes up. I've only spent minutes looking, but nothing's coming up. It's just sales off the shredders. See, the problem is when something's £50, though it doesn't sound nice, but nobody's going to spend the time to fix it. Thing is though, if it was your own, you would do if you're into repair. But if you're somebody else, the £50 would be spent instantly on a call out fee or sending it in to somebody, like a desk fee or something like that. And you're still only getting back, even if the shredder's working, you're still only getting back a shredder which isn't new. You can buy a new one for £50. So you can't compare this to a new shredder. You can only compare this to a second-hand value. I don't know what the second-hand value would be. 20, 30 pounds? So think about it. Is any professional going to fix it for 20 or 30 pounds? The answer is no. So in which case then, it's better, not for the environment, but it's better for your pocket and for the longevity to get something for 50 quid new again, because it's going to come with its year guarantee. Interestingly, it looks like somebody is 3D printing. I presume that's a 3D printed gear there, but it's for a C209. You can see it's a plastic bit in the middle there, while this one needs a metal bit. But even if you were to take the metal bit out, get it 3D print it and insert the metal thing again and hope that it fits good enough, and even if the 3D printer could print in a material strong enough, you still need to get that metal gear in the middle. So unfortunately, something like this is unfixable. But I've got spares now, so if there was another one in the job lot, it might have a faulty circuit board, or it might have a, I didn't even look at the circuit board, I don't know what's on there. It might have a faulty motor, for example. I know the motor on this is working, so I can just take the motor out of this to fix another one. So although it seems like a complete waste, it might not necessarily be a waste. It might go on to fix another item again in the future.
Fake wooden clock.
Here we have a Nuvo wall clock, 10-inch, just checked. Thousands of reviews on these on Amazon, so they must sell tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of them. And it is only £12.99. As you can see, this one, the second hand, is not on. So maybe it just came off in transit and then the seller sent it straight back. I'm just going to pop the battery in just to see if it is. Well, I'm not going to be able to. Yeah, I'll be able to see at the back to see if it's ticking round. Let's see if these gears are moving. Interestingly, I can't see the gears moving whatsoever. I thought maybe that was just going to be a single fault there, but I don't think so. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to come back to this in a minute just to see if that has moved to here. No, interesting. What I thought might be a super simple repair, I think is going to be more involved. Let's take it apart and see why it's not working. Right, now, let's see what's, well, first things first, leave that in. Make sure that the battery has charge, which it does, 1.53 volts, so there's not a problem with the battery. So I have to get in here regardless for that, and also I can't take this out until I take the hands off, so I'm going to have to undo these screws around the edge. Hopefully that will take off the bezel and the glass, and then we can take the hands off and go from there. Now this isn't real wood, it's wood effect, but it looks convincing. If this was up on the wall, I can see why so many of these are sold. £12.99, you don't have to think too much about that purchase. And they do look, it's only going to have paper here, but yet up on the wall, it just looks nice. It looks clean and it's really easy to read. That's that. Do you know what? I'm going to turn this upside down. There we go. Now, I'm not going to touch this because I don't want any fingerprints. I'm just going to do it from this side to see if it's glass. Yeah, that's glass. So I'm going to put that down carefully. And I should be wearing gloves, but I'm not going to wear gloves because I want to be able to feel what I'm doing. I'm just going to take these hands off. They should just lift off. There we go. And this one. Now, that means we can unclip this. There. Oops. It's a bit stubborn coming out here. And there, right, we're out. And on Amazon it says it's a silent one. It doesn't tick. Oh, there's a little clip here as well on this. There we go. Right, let me take a picture in case everything suddenly goes very wrong. So it's not even attempting to tick from what I can see. Right, let me take that out. And just take a picture here as well. How do you manual? Oh, manual wind here, which goes onto here, which moves these ones. Where did the... Oh yeah, I got 2 there. Yeah, fine. So that turns that. We have got battery contact goes up here. Oh, onto here. So we've got 2 here, negative and positive. So they must go up onto the back here. Let's take this off. Careful of that coil, Vince. So this should be touching the circuit board there. Right now, that crystal does not look to be in the right place. So I wonder, has it been dropped, which knocked the second hand off, which then knocked the crystal off? And I wonder, is that crystal shorting? Let's have a close look. So the crystal is obviously what's doing the timing. Let's have a look here. No, maybe it's designed to be going up at that direction there. Just seems a bit weird. Yeah, maybe that's completely normal. I would have thought that would have been tucked away. Right, so what we have to do is we have the coil. So the coil drives this motor here. So let's see if we have a resistance reading on the coil. So the coil goes through these 2 bits onto here. So we should have a resistance reading, which is where we're reading the wires. So one wire goes around for 100 meters all the way around and comes back here. So we should have resistance on those 2 bits. Let's see if we do. We do. But that seems very high. Very high. I think that's incorrect. And I'm wondering if we're reading the circuit here rather than the coil. I would have thought that that would have been, you know, like 1,000 ohms or something, not in the meg ohms. I think we've got a problem with the coil. Let's zoom right in. And that's a little blob chip, a glob top chip here. So you can see the battery contacts go on here, into here. Ah, now, what's happening here? I can't even see where, oh, there you go. You've got a wire down there. Can you see just here? And we're going to have, I presume, a wire down here as well somewhere. Yeah, just here as well. I think we're going to have to unsolder that and see what is happening. If I unsolder that, lift it up, I should be able to slide it off. Let's unsolder this to begin with. So I'm going to add some leaded solder to it and then use a solder sucker and try to get this off. I might be lucky, maybe the enamel wire's gone just as it meets the contacts. Whoops. There's a good one. I think I'm done. Let's see, are you going to come off? Gentle, gentle. Yes, you are. Right, so the coil is free from there. How am I going to actually slide it off here, though? How is this attached? Oh, it comes out. Oh, excellent. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Right, that comes out there. Now, is there a right and wrong way for that? One side is keyed, so let me put that there again. I've already got confused now. Was it that way? I'll have to watch back the video. I've got myself completely confused. Anyway, we might not have to worry about it because I might not be able to get it back together. Let's take this out. Let's put everything else gently away, and I'm going to cut these bits off here because I don't need them. It's amazing that even that, because it takes an extra second or 2 seconds at the factory, that they just leave it long and fold it over. Right, coil time. You can see that that's stuck magnetically to that. So this is a little magnet going around, you see, and the coil will pulse, and this will cause a magnetic field to, you know, pulse it round. Okay, Vince, what's going on? Let's zoom out and see if we have the reading here. I'm going to say no. So it shouldn't be in the meg ohms, it should just be open. There you go, completely open, yeah? Did it go on there low down? Oh, look at that. Look at that, it's low down, yeah, but it's not high up. Can you see as I go up, we lose it. So I need to be really careful that I don't stab these this wire. We've got it now. We've got it. It's something to do. When I rubbed this along here, it's made a contact now. But we didn't have that originally. We got it now. It's going to be working. Let's resolder the wires onto here. Let's see if we can see what's happened. So the enamelled wires just mustn't have made a very good contact where they soldered onto here. So the reason they're enamelled is because we're going to have hundreds of meters here. Let's just call it 100 meters. And it's got insulation on it. It's got enamel to stop it shorting together. Otherwise, this would be adding as just a wrap of copper. So there's something wrong with one of these ones here. So I think if we just resolder it, I don't know if there's a break or not. Let's see. Don't know. But at the beginning there was nothing. Ah, there we go. That's not soldered. Look at this one. It's this one. This one here is not soldered. There you go. Look. Let's see if we can pull it out. Got the shakes. There you go. We found it. This one didn't solder. So this one has soldered, this one hasn't. I'm going to wrap this round. Keep missing it. We have to keep it low down because this needs to go through the board. So I'm going to try to put a blob of solder on both of them, and I'm hoping the heat from the iron will burn off the enamel. So to begin with, I'm just gonna, hold on, has that been bent out of place a bit? No. I'm just gonna heat up here just to, oh, no, it is burning. I've got to be careful. It's gonna end up burning through the, it's gonna end up making a massive hole at the bottom there. It doesn't really matter, it's still gonna be in place. Let's just try to solder and hopefully it will solder up okay. The heat from the solder might melt off the enamel, you see. Just going to hold it there for a little while. There. Not sure if that's going to fit through the hole now. And heat up. And melt. Keep it there. Keep it there. There. Alright, let's see if that is giving us a resistance reading. There you go. 1,600 ohms. Let's go that way. Yeah. 1,588 ohms. Perfect. Right, let's try to get this back into the board. I'm going to have to refer back to the pictures, I think. Right, so let me give us a clue now. Where does this... that goes in. So I can tell it's this way because it's got those bits on. So the coil goes on this side here. the coil goes, circuit board goes there, so the coil's going to go on this way. Oops. Like so. So luckily I took pictures, otherwise I wouldn't have a clue. Now I have to try to solder that back into here. And these have probably moved out of the way a bit now. There. Let's solder that up. I didn't measure the board, but I think the meg ohms would have been coming from the board. And we'll give that a little clean with IPA. Isopropyl. Right, I've got to try to put this back together. Oh, actually, let's get a quick reading now, see if it's gone off the meg ohms. There you go. Excellent. So you can see it's reading different than it was before. Oh, that's nice. Slides in there like so. Right, so if we put this back on here now, we should find that it's working. Right, that's on there. Look at that. What? Oh, there you go. Look at it spinning. I just had to press down. Look at it go. Hopefully you can see that. It's amazing how little power they use. That's spinning constantly, and yet the battery I'm sure would last well over a year. Isn't it amazing? So that's the hour hand. This is the minute hand, and then the one that goes through it here will be the second hand, and they're all geared differently. Well, I'll try and put a battery in now, but it hasn't got the pivot plate thing on the top here, so these are going to be wobbling everywhere. Let's just see if it is working. There you go. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? How nice is that? That's not hitting the gear down below, but when we put this on top, it will crush it all down. Right, I think that is all back together. So now, is this going to turn this? Yeah, I can see it here, turning the minute. So now, if we were just to rest this on here just to show you, like so, pop the battery in, boom, there it goes. I think it's just bent at the end here, maybe not, that might be the curvature if there's, I'm not sure if there's a curve on the glass or not, but you can see it working. Right, I'm having way more success with these cheap quartz clocks than I ever did with watches, Seiko watches and Amiga, Tudor. I've tried to do them all. That's in there. Now that isn't centered very nicely there. There's nothing I can do. That is that's where it sits in. It's off a little bit. Going to go to 6 o'clock, make sure it's lining up nicely. Perfect. And I think this is a sweeping second hand. Right, that's on there. I just want to get rid of my fingerprint from the middle there. it's been damaged or not at the end. It does seem to be a little bit in. Try to straighten it. There we go. I'm just going to put them all under each other, make sure they're clearing. Yeah, there you go, there's loads of room. Right, hopefully they're on tight now. And there shouldn't be any fingerprints on here. So we just have to line this up with this. So I think it might have been dropped in transit, which then just, that wire was never soldered on properly, and the second hand fell off and the wire fell off. Right, there we go, we are back together. Oh no, I've got a hair. What? I've got a hair and a bit there. Didn't see that before. Right, let's put the battery in. And there she goes. Brilliant. It's lovely with the sweeping second hand. Right, let's get the time set correctly and we'll come back to this in a few hours and see if it's keeping time. Right, okay. Let's come back to it later. Here we go. Ta-da! So it appears to be working just fine, which is fantastic. How good was that fix? Thoroughly enjoyed that one.
Fancy Nancy wax warmer.
Here we have a boxed wax melter, and remember I looked at one of these before but it was missing the top bit here, so I got it working out of curiosity since taking the plug off to use for something else, but I can't do anything because I haven't got the top bit. But now hopefully this might go on to fix this one here. Haven't tried it yet, but we have this here. It looks to be new. We have a little top bit here to melt the wax in, and this is an idea of the wax. I've actually got wax melters in my house. I love smelling stuff like that. It reminds me of when I was in Robert Dyer's, which was an ironmonger's. It was my first job apart from a paper round that I had, and the only enjoyment I got in that shop was going over to the scented candles and smelling them. Unfortunately I was stuck on the till the whole time I was there. It was a Saturday job, and then somebody else came along and they should have gone onto the till and I should have gone out to the floor. But whenever they were on the till, the money was always incorrect when they were cashing up at the end of the day. So they put me back on the till and put that guy on the floor. I was heartbroken. So you got penalised for actually being good at your job. Anyway, let's see, because this didn't come with a bulb, a lamp. So let's see if this is going to work in here. Wait a minute, is that screwing in? It should screw in. I think that's been cross-threaded. I'm struggling to screw that in, and I think therein lies the problem. I've got it in, but I don't think that's in properly. Let's plug it in. I think that's what the problem is on this. I can see it's loose. Right, turn it on. Ah, that's our problem. Okay, well, let's bring it over to the mat. I wonder if there's any way I can swap over that bulb holder, because if it's cross-threaded, there's not much I can do about it, and put that one in. That's just not wanting to go in. So, why are you not wanting to go in? Can my hand fit in here? Yes, okay, I think we've got a hidden screw at the bottom here. Whoops, don't smash the other one. I think there's a hidden screw under here. Oh yes, look at that, that comes off lovely. Right, I can undo that by hand. That also feels a bit wobbly, so that might need to be tightened. I've got to be careful that I don't smash this though, because this is some sort of glass. Right, so that's that. And the plastic washer goes against this to stop the metal from smashing it. So now I need to... Oh, that's interesting. So they've put that on that side as well. See, to me, that's wrong. That should be on the inside. Why have they put that there? Oh, do you think it's to stop too much cord? See, on this one, I put it on the inside thinking it was pulled too tight. Now I'm wondering, is it to stop somebody from pushing too much cord into it? Yeah, because that there stops it from being pulled. So that is actually a design choice, that. Okay. I wonder, can I slide that down so I don't have to renew it? Yes, I can. Right, so we want to bring this out completely so we can see what's going on. Obviously, I'm unplugged. Face reveal. I should have had a shave. Room reveal. See the mess. Right, so it says here E12, so that's Edison, isn't it? So it is an Edison screw, so I'm pretty sure it should be made for this one. So why are you not happy? Does that not look perfect? That doesn't say what it is on here. That's too big. Oh, maybe there is a smaller one then. Ah, maybe there is small. Let me have a look. Maybe there is smaller. Maybe this isn't an E12. As far as I know, there was Edison screw and there was SES, which is small Edison screw. I'm going to Google to see if E12 is different. 250 volts, 75 watts, because it might be just a case that I haven't actually got the right fitting for this. Let's see if it is going to work by going to continuity. So maybe the problem here was that it wasn't supplied with one of these and they just sent it back. So I don't know if this is on or off, but neutral should be right the way through to this outer one here. Interesting. It's not. Amoeba's live. Switch it here. No, so it wouldn't work anyway even with the correct one. And this is going to be the live down the bottom. No? What? What's going on? We haven't got live or neutral. Hold on. Neutral? Now we've got neutral. We've got neutral in the middle. That's not right. The middle one should be live. Is it neutral that's switched? Even that's hit and miss. So there's a couple of things going on here. First of all, I just want to see about the size of an E12 bulb. No, they're different. So look, E12 is not the same as an SES. So this is going to be SES, which refers to E14 bulb base. While both are types of small Edison screw fittings, E12 candelabra screw has a 12mm diameter, and SES small Edison screw is the E14 base, which has a 14mm diameter. Right. Now, luckily for me, I haven't damaged in here because you can see on the ceramic, it's you can see where this has been rubbing against the ceramic, so it never got down as far as the actual screw. Do you know what? My battery's gone, but I'll just measure here. So you can see there, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now let me do this one here. And you can see that that's 12. So 100% I do need an E12. That's no good for this. Right, let's find out why you are not actually working. Also, I think the wires have been put in wrong. The middle one should be the positive. Because I think the idea is, it's harder to get your finger on the bottom one than it is on these side ones here. And these side ones could be live. So I don't think that's good. In fact, if you have a look here on this one, if I was to go on to the blue will be the side one. Yeah, and the blue one isn't going to be switched, and then the live will be the one at the very bottom. I know you can't see that, But you can see that that's switched there. Right, let's see if it's the same problem with this one here, which is where it went into the push fit connectors. Oh, so it's cable tied round there. I'm going to have to cut that. So I think it's going to have failed where it goes into these connectors here. And they've put them in the wrong way. In fact, you can see they've labelled up a little positive here and they haven't used it. Can you see the tiny little positive? And negative there. And they put the blue wire to it. Right, let's see if I can take these out. So they've got the brown wire, which is live, into the N, which is neutral connection. And they've got the neutral wire, which is blue, into the L, which is the live connection. So I'm going to have to pull them both out. They're push fit in, so they're very hard to take out, but I wiggle them with the pliers and get them out. I'm going to show you the actual mechanism on the inside because it's quite interesting how it works. I just need to take the mechanism out, bend the pins out, strip the wires back, tin them with solder, put them back in, get a bulb, and job done. Oh, it comes out now. Oh, and there's the remains of that wire. Good job, that did come out. Right, so we need, oh, here we go. You can see which way it goes. So we now know that it goes on the outer edge because look, that's the way these are designed. Not here. You can see they're made for cables to go onto those bits. So when I put that back in, we have to put the cables on this side. Okay, brilliant. Oh no, yeah, it's coming out again. So what I need to do is I need to push these both out, and then when I put them in, they're going to live there forever. So put them both out. And they need to go this way as far as possible. There we go. Now when we force the wire in, it's going to sit in there nicely. You can see that's way over this bit here. Right, so in you go. There we go. Excellent. Right, that's going to be all right. So we have to, what do we have to do now? We have to strip back these. So I'm going to get rid of all these horrible bends and start again. So I'm going to strip back past the strain relief just in case there was any damage done to the wires. And I am going to tin up the wires with some solder and then put that little protective heat shrink sleeving on. And then we can push them back in. So let's pick up the video as we're about to push them back in because the push fit connectors do work very nicely. Saves you doing up any like tiny screws or anything. So let's get them both lined up. On the side by here. I've got to somehow force them down. Let's do one at a time. There we go, that went in lovely. And look at that, it's gripping good. There we go. Right, that is lovely. So I'm going to put a little cable tie on there. Does it have to be little? Yes, because that needs to screw into the bottom. Ta-da! Perfect. So let's make the big bit up top. There we go. Right, so that is back together now. And if I was to go, well, I'll tell you what, we'll put it fully back together. Well, you won't be able to see. Let's do this now and you'll be able to see that if we go on the neutral, it should be now on this outer bit. And it should be all the time. And the live should be on this middle one, only when it's on. So turn this on here. What? You kidding me?
Ha ha.
What's going on? No way. Did I push it in too far? So now it is on. Now, this is what happened, I think, on the last one. I think I've pushed it in too far so that, pretend this bit here is the insulation and this bit is the copper. So you want this copper clamp to be on this bit here, but I think I've gone onto the insulation. So I think I need to pull the copper one out just a tiny little bit. the live one out a little bit, you know what I mean? Let me have a look. No, I can see it. I can see it, unless I just pulled it out now. What is going on? Just in case I'm imagining it, I'm just going to double check the fuse. That's so strange. What? Oh, maybe I didn't check the live earlier. Right, I've got a new 3 amp fuse there. That's so strange. Don't quite know the backstory here. Right, okay, so that's that now. Let's see, are you going to work? So let's do that test again. Neutral, on, regardless of where this is. Correct. Now, the middle prong. Nothing, turn it on. We now have it, that's it. Brilliant. Yes, 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 schoolboy error there, not checking the fuse. I can't believe I didn't check the fuse. But anyway, it's just as well I did, because if I had checked the fuse and put a lamp in, this would have been working just fine. But it's not safe because the wires were swapped around. So although it would work fine, let's say in a year's time the lamp blows and you go to replace the lamp, you might not unplug it. The next person who owns this might not unplug it, and then it might still be on the little switch there, because they don't know what's on and off, because the lamp is no longer working, so they don't know what's on and off. And then what happens is they go to unscrew it. Well, it's not that hard to put your finger near that metal bit off the lamp holder. It's harder to get your finger to the live one at the very, very bottom, but it's not that hard to touch the one that has the screw thread on it. So if that was live, your other hand could be on something which is earthed. You could be on a radiator. You could be on a metal pipe in your house. You could have your hand up against a wall if you've got a nice chrome plated light switch. Well, all those things are going to be earthed. And then, of course, this is live, so you're going to have 240 volts go through you, while if it's neutral there, you're not. Now, if the live one is at the bottom, you'll still be stupid to put your fingers anywhere near it, but it's a lot harder to ram your little finger to the very bottom of the lamp holder than the screw terminal, which is quite accessible. So it's just as well that I didn't check the fuse to begin with, because at least now this product is safer than when it left the factory. Anyway, I've ordered up the proper lamps from Amazon. Let's now cut to the part of the video where I'm about to plug it in, and you'll be surprised at this thing, how it looks. It really is a complete shock. Don't judge a book by its cover. Boom! Look at that, it's amazing. It goes from looking so boring, bit of light, and suddenly it just springs to life. It's been about 15 minutes. You can see the wax is nearly melted now. I can smell it in the air, nice cherry smell. So that is it. It is a pretty little thing. So it gives off light and it gives off smell as well. I think these retail for about £20 plus £4 or £5 postage. And I can see now, when you put a light in, why somebody would buy it.
Summary.
Really enjoyed that day there. So just 2 items fixed in this one. Can't put anything down for the shredder. So I'm putting £10 down for the clock, because they're currently retailing on Amazon at £20 or $19.99. And that Bobolin wax warmer thing is $21.99. So I've put it down as £11. I'd happily sell both of them. I think they're both going to be lasting just fine. This one I'm not actually selling. It's found its home. Let me just show you that. So my wife wanted this one over the other wax warmer, and I've got the little switch hidden here. And look at that there. I really like it. So £22 doesn't sound much in total, but the fixes, for me anyway, are still enjoyable. And looking at the comments so far, you guys seem to be really enjoying it. So I'm very grateful for watching this challenge. I wasn't sure how it was going to go down, but so far it seems to be doing a little bit better than last year. So I am very, very happy, which is great. Anyway, hopefully I'll see you again tomorrow on day 17, and hopefully then, maybe towards the end of this challenge, we can get some bigger numbers.